By and large, Japanese university students live an easy life. Whether they live by themselves or live along with their parents, parents take care of everything, from A to Z. Not to mention tuition and room and board. Though many students work part-time after school or during vacations, the money they earn is for their own personal use, for dates, for traveling, for club activities. Japanese mothers and fathers are willing to accept this financial burden as their parental duty, whatever economic class they are in, without money problems to be anxious about. One would expect Japanese students to dedicate themselves to their study. But, to the best of my knowledge, this isn't usually the case. In contrast with Japanese students, not a few American students work their way through school. Their parents seldom, if ever, provide them with financial help. Thus, when a student drops out of school, it's often because of money problems, not grades. Were it not for scholarships, the dropout rate would be much higher. American students don't expect much support of their parents. They don't want it either. From the age of 13 or 14, they are waiting for the time to come when they can be independent of their parents and get along on their own. In the U.S., you can choose whether to donate your organs for transplant in the face of death. For example, you can have organ donor stamped on your driver's license. Then, if you are involved in a fatal accident, your organs could help save someone's life. Or, when you fall ill and check into a hospital, you can make your signature on a paper saying, "I consent to the donation of my organs," on the spot. But some insist that there should be a legal obligation. That is to say, you should be obliged by law to donate your organs on death. As long as you have no religious or moral objections, you can't refuse to donate your organs. According to statistics, about 2,000 people who were anxious for a transplant passed away, owing to disease last year. Now, not less than 3,000 people are on the books for a new heart or liver. And no less than 20,000 people are in need of kidneys. There is little possibility, if any, that they will recover from their fatal diseases without the transplant of organs. Some think that the present system places too much emphasis on individual rights and that we should take this serious situation into consideration. Others point out the danger of our bodies falling under the control of the government. This issue will be talked over in various fields from now on. The American businessperson is inclined to start talking business underway in no time. He or she will feel like making quick decisions and doesn't want to wait. The Japanese, on the other hand, likes to arrive at decisions little by little and step by step, taking his time. Often the American doesn't understand immediately what the Japanese is getting at. In America, it is easy to say no to something we do not want to do. In Japan, however, it is very difficult to say no. To turn down a request with a no is considered impolite and unfriendly in Japan. So when a person can't help answering in the negative, he will use many ways to refrain from a direct no. In some cases he will react to a request which he doesn't agree to by being silent or smiling, and in other cases by giving a vague answer. What he means depends on the situation. So don't take their attitudes at face value. I make a point of giving the following piece of advice to American people who are going to go to Japan on business. You may believe in the Japanese, but you had better not believe what they say. What they say is one thing and what they think is another. They do so not on purpose but for the sake of politeness. It may be a sign of their tenderness rather than that of their insincerity. They just do so for fear of hurting your feelings.